We spend our entire lives searching for happiness. But do we really know what happiness is? We've been told that happiness can be found in success, wealth, or love. But no matter how much we gain or achieve, we often find ourselves wondering, what truly makes me happy? Meet Sarah. She was a woman who thought she had it all. A successful career, a beautiful home, and a loving family. On the surface, everything looked perfect. But deep down, she felt an emptiness she couldn't shake off. No matter how many promotions she received, no matter how many vacations she took, she always felt like something was missing. Sarah began to question her life. She asked herself, is this really all there is to happiness? What am I truly seeking? And more importantly, how do I find the happiness I'm missing? One day, after a particularly exhausting week at work, Sarah sat down in her favorite park. Amid the chirping birds and the gentle breeze rustling through the trees, something profound clicked inside her. Maybe happiness isn't something you chase after. Maybe it's something you create. Sarah decided to take a step back from her busy life and truly reflect on what made her happy. She stopped focusing on the external markers of success and started to look inward. She realized that true happiness wasn't found in material possessions, accolades, or approval from others. It was found in the way she viewed herself and her life. She began practicing mindfulness, learning to be present in each moment. She found peace in small things, the warmth of the sun on her skin, the laughter of her children, the quiet moments spent alone with a cup of tea. Slowly, Sarah discovered that happiness wasn't something to chase in the future, but something to appreciate in the present. Sarah also learned the power of gratitude. Every day, she wrote down things she was thankful for. It could be something as simple as a kind word from a friend, or the fact that she had a roof over her head. The more she focused on what she had, the more her happiness grew. Sarah realized that happiness didn't lie in the things she could acquire, but in the simple act of appreciating what she already had. As Sarah continued practicing mindfulness and gratitude, she started to realize something even deeper. Happiness didn't come from what she did, but from who she was. She realized that for years, she had been chasing happiness by fulfilling society's expectations of success. But the more she tried to meet those expectations, the emptier she felt. One evening, after another stressful day, Sarah sat down with her journal. She wrote, "I am enough." In that moment, Sarah understood something that would change her life forever. Happiness was not about becoming something more or achieving more. It was about accepting herself as she was and finding joy in the present moment. If you're ready to start your own journey toward happiness, try this simple practice. Take a moment each day to reflect on 3 things you're grateful for. It may seem small, but it will shift your mindset and lead to lasting change. Take action today and watch how your life begins to transform. Months passed, and Sarah continued to feel a shift in her life. She realized that true happiness was not found in bigger goals or achievements. It was about embracing life as it was, appreciating the simple moments, nurturing the relationships she cherished, and letting go of the constant pressure to do more. She stopped measuring her worth based on what others expected of her and began to define happiness on her own terms. One of the most powerful lessons Sarah learned was that happiness wasn't about perfection. It was about authenticity. It was about being real with herself and others. She didn't have to be perfect to be worthy of love and success. The more she embraced her imperfections, the more she found peace within herself. She also learned that self-care wasn't a luxury, it was a necessity. For years, she had neglected her well-being in the pursuit of success. But once she began prioritizing her mental, emotional, and physical health, she felt more balanced and at peace. As Sarah continued her journey, she realized that letting go was just as important as practicing gratitude. For so long, she had held on to past regrets, mistakes, and disappointments. These things weighed her down and prevented her from moving forward. But as she reflected more deeply, she understood that in order to find true happiness, she had to release the past. Sarah began forgiving herself for the mistakes she had made and letting go of grudges she had been holding against others. It wasn't easy, but she learned that holding on to anger and resentment only kept her stuck in the past. The more she released, the lighter she felt. She made space for new experiences and opportunities. Letting go wasn't just about forgiving others, it was also about forgiving herself. Sarah stopped beating herself up for not being perfect and allowed herself to be human. She realized that happiness didn't come from being flawless. It came from being authentic and at peace with who she was. As time passed, Sarah's life transformed in ways she never imagined. She wasn't just happy anymore, she was at peace. Her career flourished, her relationships deepened, and her sense of self-worth grew stronger every day. But the most important lesson she had learned was that true happiness wasn't found in external achievements. It was found in how she chose to live her life. Looking back, Sarah realized that the key to happiness was not in waiting for perfect circumstances or seeking external validation. It was in choosing to appreciate the present moment, to be grateful for what she had, and to love herself just as she was. Happiness was a choice, and every day, she chose it. Now, as Sarah reflects on her journey, she often shares her story with others. She tells them that the secret to true happiness is not found in external achievements or possessions, but in the simple things that make life beautiful. She encourages others to look inward, to practice gratitude, and to take care of themselves, body, mind, and soul. And so, I ask you, what makes you truly happy? Have you been chasing happiness in the wrong places? Or have you found it within yourself? It's time to stop searching outside and start looking inward. The happiness you seek is already within you.